today in Matthew 12:5. Everybody could go there for me. And it's the Beatitudes today, and we're talking about how God blesses us. And sometimes when you read it, it's like, well, how could these be a blessing? And I'm going to tell you why they're a blessing. Oh my goodness, my Bible jumped. Give me just a second here. Sorry about this. And this Matthew, we're going to start with Matthew, the 5th chapter, first verse. Oh. Give me 1 second, I apologize. It says, now this is what Jesus said, and he said, now, and seeing the multitude, he went up on a mountain. And when he was seated, his disciples came to him. Then he opened his mouth, and he taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. And blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sakes, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when you're rivaled and persecuted, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. And I wrote down some things, and I'm going with the first one when it says, blessed are the poor in spirit. And when you say poor in spirit, sometimes we think, what is he talking about, being poor in spirit? That means the condition that you're in, the condition of your heart, the condition of your state, the sin. That's poor in spirit. Not financially poor, not as the world sees, because the world will say, you're poor, you're in poverty. But Jesus here is talking about the sin that's in your life, how it makes your spirit poor. Because you're sinning. But then you recognize your sin. This is why he said you're blessed. Because we're able to recognize what we do wrong. So he says you're blessed. That's a blessing. Because a lot of people are so proud, they're arrogant. When they do something, they say something, they don't care how you feel. They don't care. It's like, and it's about me, myself, and I. But Jesus said when you can recognize what you've done, and you can recognize that I've sinned, I can recognize that I needed Jesus in my life. I needed him more than I ever do now. I need him. Every day I need Jesus in my life. He said that's why he said you're blessed, because you're stripped of your pride. You're stripped of who you are. And in the second one it says those who mourn. This is the second blessing in life. I don't understand when you mourn, you think of mourning the death of a loved one, death of a friend. You know how people die. My sister-in-law just passed away last month. And we mourned and we grieved. But here he says, blessed are those who mourn. And this is where we're mourning over our sins that we've committed. We're mourning over what I did. Because sometimes you could say something to somebody. Say, for instance, like me and my husband. I'll say something. I shouldn't have said that to him. We say something to our mate, or say something to our kids, or we say something to a family member. And we're like, I shouldn't have said that. And then you go to God and you say, Lord, I'm sorry. And you just, in your spirit, it's not right. You're mourning and grieving the sins that you committed. Sometimes something in our past can cause us to react to a situation in our present state. And then afterwards you're walking away, you're like, oh my God, I don't believe I said that. Or I don't believe I did that. And he said, oh, shut. That's why we mourn. Because you have remorse over what you did. You regret what you did. He said, that's why I called you blessed. Because you have sense enough to know what you did was wrong, and you say, Lord, I'm sorry. Then you go back to the person and you say, can you please forgive me? And they go, yeah, I forgive you. So you're mourning over what you've done. We're mourning over our sins and how we sin against the Lord, how we sin against ourselves. That's mourning, that's grieving. And that's why he said you're blessed. Because people don't recognize the state that they're in. They think I'm just fine. Oh, I'm just living. I can do what I want to do. It says, it's your thing. It was an old song. I forget who wrote this. Who did it? I think it was the Isley Brothers. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. It's not it's your thing. Do what you want to do. We have to be accountable for what we do to people in life. And if you can't mourn and grieve over things that you do, then you need to ask God to help you. Say, Lord, somewhere I've disconnected. Somewhere I've given up on being compassionate and understanding. You know, it's like we just don't care what we do to people anymore. A lot of people don't. They just don't care. It's like, oh well. You either like it or you don't. But that's not how Jesus said it. He says sometimes you have to stop and think about what we do. He says, well, I called you blessed. See, people think that it's the Beatitudes is condemning you, but it's not. He's telling you we're blessed. We're blessed going into 2020 because we all love the Lord. We all want his mercy. We all want his forgiveness. And Jesus is calling us blessed because we have expressed sorrow over our past sins, past mistakes. And we're sensitive and are able to respond to personal sins, and we're tenderhearted towards others because we understand. And then we go on to the third one. It says those who are meek. And sometimes meekness we think we're weak, but meekness is the opposite with Jesus. It shows self-control. Where we used to get angry, because oh my goodness, you could get angry over the littlest things. Somebody put the soap or put the towel in the bathroom wrong, or you didn't wash your cup out. You just stuck your cup in the sink. I'm just talking to Journal. Or you got left 10 cups on the coffee table. Like, oh my God. You see these these cups on this coffee table? You ain't gonna pick this up. You know, with women, where me personally, certain things like a coffee table or certain things, I'm clean and I'm neat, and certain things will, aggravate you. And it took God to deliver me and say, hey, that's a small thing. It's the small things in life. Sometimes the devil will magnify it and make it bigger than what it is. Like, oh my God, you don't understand that? I'm talking to you, wait a minute. You didn't get that. Okay. But that's the enemy trying to put a wedge in between things. And the meekness comes in when we have to say, oh, wait a minute. This is the enemy. His job is to kill, steal, and destroy. He don't care who he uses. He don't care. It could be the smallest of things from the biggest of things. And meekness comes in when we are willing to submit our ways under the hand of God. And we submit who we are. Submit what we want to do. And say, you know what, Lord? I'm going to bypass it. You could go to work and somebody at work do something and you're like, oh my God. What is wrong with these people? But they don't have God in their life, and we do have God. And we have to show them that we love them, and we show them by submitting and say, you know what, hey, it's a better way. It's a better way to do things. And we're submitting to God. And then we have the hunger, and after we learn how to submit, it says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. And Jesus proclaims for us, after we are stripped of our pride and tenderhearted towards our sin and willing to submit, comes our hunger and thirst for righteousness. That's doing the right thing. That's saying the right thing. That's caring for people. That's loving God's people. That's loving somebody that's unlovable. That's showing them that, hey, it doesn't matter anymore. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, it doesn't matter, because Jesus died on the cross for every sin that we've committed, everything that we've done. And we're hungry and we're thirsting after righteousness, to do the right thing, to say the right thing, to be more like Jesus. In 2020, we're new level. We're going from glory to glory. It ought to be a change in us somewhere, because we're going from glory to glory to glory. We're not staying in the same place. We're hungering and we're thirsting for God. We're hungering and thirsting for His Word. We're hungering and thirsting to do right and love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and our strength. We're hungry. And that's why He said, I called you blessed. Make no mistakes about it. We are blessed. We get up every morning. We have the first thing that we should do, because He's Alpha, is say, Lord, thank you. We praise Him. We worship Him. And at the end of the day, He's Omega. So we give Him praise at the end of the day. That's hungering and thirsting. And in between, we give Him thanks. We give Him glory. We pick up His Word. We read His Word. Say, okay, this is our instructions. What do you have for me today? What are you saying for me today? See, we're hungry and thirsty. We're dying to ourselves. We have to die to ourselves daily. Cast off who we are. Forget about how I want to do. Sometimes I want to do things, but then I have to sit down and think about, wait a minute. I got to go and minister to these young girls at this juvenile hall. God, what are you saying to me for them? What are you saying to them? What do you have for them? Because everybody's individual. And Jesus, He does a corporate thing, but yet He does a personal thing. He meets you right where you are. When you're hungry and thirsting after righteousness, you're seeking His will, not your will, but His will. You're seeking the things that He wants you to do, not what you want to do, but you're seeking to please Him in every area of your life. And then He says, those that are merciful. And I'm going to give you guys a testimony. I used to smoke cigarettes. My goodness. That was the hardest thing to give up. Was not Benson and Hedges menthol. Knowing you see all the commercials is not good for you. But I started smoking as a teenager. Thought I was grown. Oh, I could smoke. You know. And back then, the stores didn't card you. They didn't ask for IDs. I just went in there like I was grown. Threw my little dollar, used to put $1 something in. Threw my little dollar up there. Oh, I'm smoking. But the devil was setting me up down the road. Because it took me years to get delivered from cigarettes. I got delivered from everything else. I was like, oh my God, that was a struggle. I was coming into the church. I was sitting down, hoping nobody smelled the cigarette smoke on me, you know, spraying all the perfume on me. I'm like, oh God. And I was crying out to God in my secret closet. God, please deliver me. God, I can't stop this on my own. He didn't deliver me right away either. Oh no, He didn't. I had to seek Him. I had to run after Him. I had to cry out. And sometimes I wanted to give up. I was like, what's the use? I'm addicted to cigarettes. That was it took me years. I smoked for over 25 years. As a matter of fact, it was 38 years when God delivered me. And I would still sit in the church. And I'm just as embarrassed, ashamed of myself. But that was the devil coming to put condemnation on me. Because Jesus said, I'm merciful. I'm a just God. I love you. I'm going to deliver you. I'll bring you out. It wasn't for somebody to condemn me. And nobody did. Nobody in the church could say anything. They could smell that smoke on me. But they loved me anyway. They loved me right on through that. And one particular year from my old church, we had a fast. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this fast. I started fasting. And at the end of that fast, I didn't smoke anymore. And I didn't realize I had stopped smoking for maybe about a month or two. I didn't even know God had taken the desire away from me. I didn't know that He had moved that stumbling block, that obstacle. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do this fast. But He was merciful to me. He was good to me. He delivered me in spite of myself. And He never judged me and He never condemned me. So whatever you're going through, whatever struggles you have in life, something that don't nobody even know that you're dealing with, this is where Jesus said, I'm merciful. I died on the cross for that sin. He said, I'll take it away from you. That's why He said for us to cast all our cares on Him, because He cares for us. And sometimes it may be you have a problem with, you sometimes see things differently from people. And you're like, Lord, what's going on with me? Or you have a judgmental spirit. You jump to conclusions all the time. See, I'm merciful. I'm just. I'll deliver you. Cast all your cares on me because I care for you. He said, when you're casting, you're throwing something. It's like, here. But when you give it to Him, don't pick it back up. In this particular time, I didn't pick that cigarette back up. And I mean, I smoked. Now, still tell people how God loved them. And all the time inside of me, I was dying. I'm like, oh, God, please, deliver me. And when He did, He did. And I have not smoked since. And that was my biggest thing. Amen. And it says, blessed are the pure in heart. And when you're pure in your heart, that means that you've chosen to give up your lifestyle. You've chosen to change the way you are. You've chosen to take the attributes of Christ. You've chosen to love Him. You've chosen to walk by Him. And my lifestyle, I'm telling my little testimony here, I used to be a motorcycle rider. I love riding motorcycles. I lived on the dangerous side. Some people that just, but my self-esteem and life situations, my upbringing, things from my past caused me to think little of myself. I didn't see myself the way God saw me. I saw myself the way the devil portrayed me, as nothing and less than. And I mean, that's where I thought I belonged. I was on the back of a motorcycle. Now don't get me wrong, I had fun. But still on the inside, I was still empty. And I would have people in the motorcycle club say, what are you doing here? You don't even belong here. You don't. Why are you here? And the more they would say it, the more I would try to fit in. The more I try. And they're like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. But I was like, yes, I do. Because I gave up on myself. That's something you cannot do, is give up on yourself. Because Jesus has a destiny for each and every last one of us. He knows the plans that He has for us. And when we turn our hearts over to Him, our lifestyle changes. The way we talk, the way we walk, the way we do things, the way we see ourselves. You have to see yourself the way Jesus sees you, and He sees you as the head and not the tail. He sees you as blessed and highly favored. He sees you as more than a conqueror. Because He said you can do all things through Christ that's within you. Young ladies, you can be more than what you think. Owner of your own companies. Get your doctorate degree if that's what you want to do. Soar to the top. Don't let the enemy dictate where you're going. Your lifestyle, you're about Jesus. And before I said you're a peach out of reach, yes you are. You're that peach out of reach. You're the top at the top of that tree. And anybody that needs to get you going to have to climb pretty high to get you from the top of that tree. Go to the top. Go all the way with Jesus. Because he cares for us. My lifestyle changed. And it changed for the better. Now I can tell people, look, this is what I used to be. I used to be over here partying, boogieing down. Now I'm on this side. My lifestyle is with Jesus. And now I might not have been that CEO, might not have my own company. But I'm here to encourage people. Don't give up. Don't make the mistakes that I did. Because where God wants to take you in life, kids, and everybody, oh my God, he wants to take us so many different places. He wants to bless us so much. Everybody's not going to be rich, but you can be rich in your heart. You can be rich in love. You can have words of wisdom to share with people. And then it says, blessed are the peacemakers. But you have to have peace in your heart before you can be a peacemaker. I was, my sister-in-law, for some reason, I don't know why my brother marry these women that always have a difficult understanding things. My sister-in-law, I'm sitting at work one day and she was just blowing my phone up and I'm like, oh my God. So I thought because my brother was sick and we had to rush to Fresno because he had a stroke. So I'm thinking something's wrong with my brother. So I pick up the phone and out comes this stuff and I'm like, what? And I said, oh my goodness. So I blocked my brother's phone number where he couldn't call me or him and his wife. I said, I'm not going to be bothered with this. And so I'm like, Lord, I need an opportunity where I could talk to them because that was grieving my spirit. She had a misunderstanding for what I don't know. Some people will have a misunderstanding, especially family members, get mad at you for nothing. And you're like, well, what are you mad at me about? What did I do? They just, well, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, what you mean you don't want to talk about it? Can you explain to me what I did? No, you know what you did. Like, what did I do? Hey, you know what you did, girl. I ain't got time for this. I'm like, okay. So I hang up the phone. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be bothered with this devil. Block, block, block. Then you're not going to call me on my job and upset me over something I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no clue. And then you can't understand people because they talking. I'm like, well, wait a minute. So anyway, this happened last year. So my mom, we had a New Year's dinner. So my sister-in-law, first of all, I love her, and I always have. My brother's been with her. He's loved her since he was a little boy. And I've known her all my life. She taught me how to sew. She was a good big sister. Because I didn't have a big sister. I was the big sister. To have a big sister, I was excited. And I'm thinking, because my brother and her, they separated for 30-something years and they came back together. God brought them back together. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have a good relationship. But it was not. The enemy had gotten in and changed her views, changed my views. But the love that I had for her was still there. So at my mom's dinner, she had this little attitude and I grabbed her by the hand. And I said, come with me. And I took her in the room and I said, listen, I don't know what you think or thought that I might have said or I might not have said. I said, but I'm asking you to forgive me. I said, I don't talk about you. I don't have time because I'm working and I'm at church. I said, so whatever it is, I said, please forgive me. I said, because we can't sit in this house and not talk. This house is small. I don't want to be in an atmosphere where I can't communicate with you and you can't communicate with me. I'm at the refrigerator and you thirsty and I get a bottle of water out and you need a bottle of water, but versus you asking me to get you the water, you got an attitude. That's the devil. I said, I don't want that. So I had to make peace with her. And I didn't mind making peace with her because I love her. I've always loved her. Now her attitude, that's between her and God. But as for me, I was a peacemaker. I initiated that because I love God. And I'm not going to let the devil get a foothold where he tear up a relationship, because his job is to kill, steal, and destroy. He don't care about who we are. He doesn't care who he uses. But our job is to be on our guard. And we need to watch as well as pray. You got to watch for the tactics of the enemy. He comes through anybody. He's going to use whoever he can, because he does not care. He does not love us. So the situation got resolved. We were able to fellowship and have a good time. And I'm like, Lord, I thank you. I thank you. Because I still don't know to this day what happened or what I did. And I'm not going to ask, because it's covered under the blood. Once I said, can you forgive me? And sometimes we don't do things to people. You don't. But to be a peacemaker and to love God with your whole heart, sometimes you have to diffuse that situation and stunt the devil. Because she was caught off guard. She didn't know. She was like, she wasn't expecting that. But I know I love the Lord. And how can I stand and tell somebody else to be a peacemaker and I can't be a peacemaker? How can I stand and tell you to submit and say, hey, I'm sorry, and I can't apologize? It don't work like that. Because sometimes things happen to you to see what you're going to do. Your integrity. How are you going to handle this situation? You know, one time this girl gave me more money back, and I gave her back. I was like, oh, sweetie, you gave me over the amount. And she was like, oh, my goodness, thank you. That was my integrity. Because my mind went to, if her cash register is short, she might lose her job. I don't know how many kids she got. I don't know if she's paying her way through college. I don't know the situation. She might have a sick loved one that she's caring for, and not to give her back that money. Because see, the next time I see her, I want to be able to share the good news and tell her how Jesus loves her, how Jesus died on the cross for her sins. If you have a situation, let me pray for you. Can I pray for you? And this last one, we're talking about the rivaling and persecution. I don't know about you guys, but in the news, people have been walking into the church house killing people in the church. This is something. It used to be a day when the church could leave their door open. And if you needed to come in off the street, you could come in and pray. Now, you got to lock your doors. Now the preacher almost have to have security with him. In the church. We are living in some times, some dangerous and some perilous times. But yet, Jesus still say we're blessed. Because see, when you suffer persecution, when you go through ridicule, when you go through all these things, you're still blessed. Because our trust and our hope is not within us. We put our hope and our trust in Jesus, who died on the cross for our sins. Who took everything that we could have done, everything that we're going to do, and everything we would have done. And he nailed it on that cross with him. He stretched out his arms and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Even down to the person that's walking in that last little church where the guy went in there and shot the 2 people. This is some perilous times we living in. And it's going to get worse than this. And we got to be ready with the love of God. We have to give people an answer. They say, well, how can you be so happy when everything is going on? Because I got the love of Christ inside of me. It's down in my heart. Then he goes on, the scripture says, and we are the salt of the earth. And how can you lose your flavor being salty? You can lose it by giving up on yourself and the ministry that God gave you. You can walk away from discouragement when you see everything around you. Looks like everybody's leaving. Don't nobody want to stay. I got this bill I got to pay. I got that I got to do. My kids over here, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about this. That's discouraging, but we have to keep on. You can lose our flavor by giving up. And Jesus said, we are the light of the world. Let your light shine so brightly that men can see it and they want to come to Christ. We got to let people know that there is a Savior. There is an answer to every problem, every solution in life. There's an answer for that. And that answer is Jesus Christ. That answer is Him dying for you. No matter what the problem is, it's Jesus Christ. It always has been and it always will be. We can choose to say that we're blessed, or we can choose to walk in defeat. I choose to walk and say that I'm blessed. I'm blessed. We're all blessed. Our kids are blessed. We're blessed. Our mate, those that are married, those that if you're not married, you're single, you're blessed. Because you wake up every morning and you have an opportunity to say, for God I'll live or for God I'll die. We have a choice. We choose to be blessed. We choose to love the Lord with all of our heart, all of our soul, all of our mind, and all of our strength. We choose to have Him call us blessed. And it's an honor for Him to start this new year off by telling us we're blessed. And then giving us the reasons why we're blessed. He gave us reasons why we're blessed. The world would see it as one way, but Jesus said, no, this is why you're blessed. We are truly blessed. We're loved. And I'm telling you, through this year, I don't make New Year's resolutions. And I'm not going to make any. I'm God. I have decided to be on the winning side. And that's the side of Jesus and His blood. You know, I'm not moved by what I see, because what we see is natural. But if you see in the spiritual realm, you won't be shaken. Because see, remember, there's always a weapon that's going to form, but it won't prosper. He didn't say that weapon wasn't going to form against you, but He did say it won't prosper. And we got to learn how to stand for God. And I do thank you guys, and I thank you for listening to me. And if anybody need any prayer, please feel free to come down, and Minister Yoni and myself will be praying for you. And I do thank you guys for listening to me. I thank you for coming, and you guys are a beautiful family. Yeah. I'm telling you, you know, God is going to bless you, sir. I don't know you, but I'm going to tell you, God got His hand on you. You're a good man. You are a good man. And God got some good things in store for you. Your daughters are going to soar. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Those two peaches out of reach, they're going to go all the way to the top. Your chest's going to be stuck out, and you have every right to. Don't let nobody tell you guys, oh, you probably, yes, be proud of those girls. Yes. Be proud, because you raised some good girls. You got a good family. You are a good man. And God is going to show you favor on some things. He has something in store for you, but you hold on to Him. Don't give up, because He got some things for you coming this year. I don't know when they're going to get there. I don't know how He's going to do it or what He's going to do, but you'll know it, because it's going to overtake you. It's going to overtake you, and God's going to take care of you, Mama. He's going to take care of you. But God got something for you, sir. Really, He does. Hold on to Him. Be faithful, because you guys are raising some queens. Not princess, queens. They princesses now, but they're going to go into queens. And they're going to make you so proud. So proud. So proud. And I thank you.